energy of the electron we have discussed. Yes, I've got the number. Okay, good evening. So last class we have discussed about energy associated with that of a particular electron. Now this energy we have defined as, I'll just have a quick recall of energy and then we will move on. Okay, so total energy
Sir, could you increase your voice?
yes. Last class we have talked about this energy, and total energy I have defined as total mechanical energy, that was sum of kinetic energy plus mechanical energy, or this potential energy. Exam portion, let me first clear your these general doubts. Yes, yesterday as I've told you that everything will be posted on that WhatsApp group, first thing. Second thing, tomorrow there will be an online exam. Okay, advanced pattern will be there, and for that exam, as we know in advance, every year in JEE advanced paper, every year they are changing pattern. Right now I'll not give you any information about the pattern. It could be anything. It could be like 10 single correct, 5 multi correct, and passage can be there, or integer type of problem can be there. So different kind of pattern will be there. It will be mentioned in the paper. Also the timing of exam, it will be posted again on that group itself. Next, exam portion. Yes, exam portion, everything. Yes, I know you came yesterday, Harsha Reddy, I know. So exam portion will be whatever we discuss till today's class. Like most probably I'll be completing line spectrum today. So up to line spectrum it will be there, and if I don't complete line spectrum today, so whatever we discussed before the line spectrum, that will be coming into tomorrow's exam. Okay, that will be the portion. Any other doubt like this? Yes, I know you all came. Okay, you are from second section. Sorry, that another class. Okay, no problem. So now if there isn't any other doubt, we could start the class. Okay, let's start. So this I said that kinetic energy half of mv square plus minus of kz e square by r, and then we defined that half mv square, that will be half of kz e square by r with a negative, that we know, correct? So if I put these values again, energy I'll be getting as kz e square by 2r with a negative sign. Again, if I put the values of r, I'll be getting it as minus of kz e square upon 2 n square h square 4 pi square kz e square into m. Ultimately I'll be getting it as minus of 2 pi square k square e to the power 4 m z square upon h square by n square. This is the expression for energy we have got in last class. Any confusion, any doubt? Right now this energy we can write for different orbits of hydrogen. We have defined energies for different orbits. Those energy level diagrams we have created for hydrogen atom, and I asked you to go through. Most probably you'll get this class also on YouTube. Like I have uploaded. No problem. Can I see chemistry is what you are saying? previous lecture classes, guys, previous lecture classes I have uploaded on YouTube, like last class and day before yesterday, whatever the classes we have conducted, I have uploaded on YouTube. I have posted a link of one of the video. You can go to that video, you can go to that channel itself. Okay. And
can we get this class on YouTube?
Yes, of course, you'll get this class also on YouTube. Most probably, if there isn't any network issue, then of course you'll get it on YouTube as well. I'm recording. Any other doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's continue. Right. So as I told you that excitation and de-excitation, I told you that as an electron move from higher energy level to lower energy level orbit, it will be releasing photon, or it will be releasing some energy. It will be emitting some energy because it is moving from higher energy to lower energy. So if it is emitting energy, that energy, it will be in form of photon, which I can write as E is equals to h mu, or I could write it as E is equals to hc by lambda. That lambda is wavelength associated with that photon or that electromagnetic radiation. Now this energy, see, energies of different orbits we have defined. Now this energy we can calculate as, let's say this is E1, this is E2, energy of electron in first or one of the orbit, another orbit. This energy difference delta E we can calculate as E2 minus E1. See guys, here one more thing I want to tell you, that if even if you are getting negative sign, don't panic. This delta E, if you are getting a negative value, means if you will subtract from this value and this value, if you will subtract, you might get a negative value. That negative value means releasing that energy. Is that clear? But if you do E1 minus E2, then you will get a positive value of energy, which means energy is being absorbed. So don't panic on that particular part. Okay, so delta E, this energy difference, that will be same as that of energy of this photon released in this de-excitation. Correct? So for that also we defined this particular value. See, instead of this whole part, I could write this expression as minus 13.6 z square by n square electron volt. Up to here we have discussed yesterday. Correct? So now if I take energy differences, I'll just write delta E to be minus 13.6 z square 1 upon n2 square minus 1 upon n1 square. That I am writing as E2 minus E1. That I can define here. I'll take this expression once again. Now this delta E, if I write as hc by lambda, last class I defined this lambda to be coming out to be hc by this delta E, that I can write, or simply this hc by this particular value of delta E, which I could write it as minus of 2 pi square k square e to the power 4 m upon delta E m z square upon h square, that I can write into 1 upon n2 square minus 1 upon n1 square. Any confusion, any doubt in this particular part? Yes. Anyone having any kind of trouble?
No, sir.
This is clear to everyone, I guess, right? Now just observe here, this negative sign, if I multiply into this one part, it will come out to be n1 square minus n2 square, right? So again I will take this particular value, I could take in order to obtain this value of lambda. That value, it will be some constant, correct? Or in other words, if I write again hc by lambda, if I am writing as 2 pi square, just pay attention, m z square e to the power 4 k square divided by h square 1 upon n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square. Or simply, if I write this, I remove, and instead of this, if I write 1 by lambda, this part, it will come out to be h cube into c. Is that correct? Now from here, if I take this z square here, this whole part, it is called as Rydberg's constant. Any confusion, any doubt? And 1 by lambda I have already defined, that gives us wave number. So this particular part, it will come out to be Rydberg's constant. Here I'll write this constant, it is called as Rydberg's constant. Clear? So directly I can write 1 by lambda, it can be written as or wave number, it can be given as RH z square. In some books you will see this whole thing, it is written as r or some constant r, okay, k. Here itself I will write it as 1 upon n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square. Any confusion, any doubt?
No, sir.
Very good.
No, sir.
Now this value of Rydberg's constant, we can write RH, it can be written as 109737 centimeter inverse. Check whether units will be correct or not. Z, it doesn't have any unit, n is number, here 1 upon lambda we are getting, so units, they will be coming out as centimeter inverse only. Is
Sir,
that clear?
meter inverse, centimeter.
In meter inverse also you can write. This is what see, I'll tell you that let's say if you are writing x upon x centimeter inverse, if I am writing, which I can even write it as x upon centimeter. Centimeter I can write as x upon 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Is that correct? So I could write x into 10 to the power 2 meter inverse. So if you want to convert it into meter inverse, just multiply it by 100. That's it. Clear? Don't get confused with units. This part of Rydberg's constant, is it clear to everyone? Any confusion?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Okay.
No,
So
sir.
directly in the exam now, we have an easy expression to remember. These huge relations we cannot remember. We can even derive them. Derivation, again, it will take 20-30 seconds at least. So why to waste those 20-30 seconds? If you can remember this formula, that is very easy formula to remember. Rydberg constant into z square 1 upon n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square. That will give you wave number. Simple as that. Clear? And you don't even have to remember this value. This value, it will be given in the exam itself. Value of Rydberg constant, it will be given in the exam. Sometime in exam, this value of Rydberg constant, you might get it as 109677 centimeter inverse also. So there won't be any problem. Whatever the value is given, you just put it in the given expression, you'll get the answer. Is that clear? So if Rydberg constant is given, you can even calculate value of wavelength also easily. Correct? Now let's move on towards our problem solving part. Let's solve a few problems and then we will move on towards this line spectrum of hydrogen. Okay. Now before moving on towards the problems, I gave you 2 problems today. Yes, Likita?
Does this Rydberg constant applicable only for hydrogen atom?
beta, you can apply it for any species. Like hydrogen
same
like,
value.
it should be hydrogen like species. Okay, like
Case of
say-
any other atom?
in case of any other atom, z square is written here, no? For any, see, for r value for any atom, you can write it as rh into z square. So for hydrogen it will be this value. For helium it will be coming out to be 4 times this value. For lithium it will be 9 times this value. Is that correct? Okay, so don't get confused with that. So in some books it will also be this whole value, it will also be given as Rydberg constant. Basically it is a constant, so you don't have to bother about this. Okay, now for hydrogen you can say directly this is Rydberg constant. For helium atom they will give you in other books some value, this value multiplied by 4, they will give you it as Rydberg constant for helium. That you can even calculate by yourself. You are going to be an engineer, correct? So this part at least you can do. Clear? Now before moving on towards the problem solving part, I'd like to ask first of all why none of you were present in doubt session in the morning today. No one came with the homework which I gave you yesterday. I asked 2 problems last class, if you remember. Vamshi, 2
Sir.
problems I gave yesterday, right? No
Yes.
problem, Suraj. It's your first class. If I am saying something about assignment or homework, it doesn't applicable for you. Yes, Vamshi, I gave 2 problem yesterday. Did you get answer for those 2 problem? Like I'm not giving you problem like hundreds of problem to solve as in homework. I'm just giving you 1 or 2 problem on a daily basis. So whether you have got answer for those 2 problems or not, all of you? No, very good. Why? Can I ask? Like only 2 problems were there, no? Hardly it would take 1 minute to solve 2 problems. Guys, one thing I would like to clear, okay, for everyone. See, this chemistry part, it will be quite scoring. Yes, it will be scoring only when you are doing practice, particularly physical chemistry. It will be the application part of it is basically combination of physics and mathematics only. There won't be any exceptional cases, there won't be anything to remember. It is the purely calculation part. Okay, so in this part you can score 100%. That I won't say for inorganic chemistry or organic chemistry. So here make sure you are doing proper practice, then only you will be able to score 100% in this one. Okay, so better you start solving now. If you haven't solved those problems yesterday, now you have to solve. So I'll start with question number 1 again. Question number 1, calculate the wavelength associated with de-excitation. See, if you would have solved these 2 problems, we could have solved 2 more problems in today's class, but again we will be wasting our time to solve these 2 problems again. Associated with de-excitation of electron from first one, n is equals to 3 to n is equals to 1. Second one, n is equals to 5 to n is equals to 2. Check whether it is coming in UV range, whether it is coming in UV range and whether it is coming in visible range. Just check quickly. Question number 2. 2 electrons are revolving around nucleus at distance r and 4r, what will be ratio of their periods? Question number 2. Next, question number 3. What will be ratio of ionization energy of lithium plus 2 and beryllium plus 3? Just get answer for these 3 questions. I'll give you a few more. Okay, start solving. Just post your answer in chat. Okay. Raja. काय लिखिड़ो?
From third one, 8 to part 2.
Okay, sir. Third one is 1:2. Okay. Why I am getting 9:16 then? Vamshi, visible for which one? N is equals to 3:1 or 5:2? Three to one. Okay. 3:1 you are getting visible. I don't know which electromagnetic spectrum you are using. Are you using those values which I gave you the time when I discussed electromagnetic spectrum? What is range for visible light? 350 nanometer to 750 nanometer. Are you getting a wavelength in between this value?
Yes, sir.
for 3 to 1. I mean, seriously. Are you using calculator? Just use calculator, because I don't think that would be right answer. And third one, those who were getting 1:2, 2:1, that is wrong.
To 3.
What? 2:3 is also wrong. I'm getting 9:16. Ionization energy was what? The energy required to move electron from its ground state to n is equals to infinity. If you remember last class, I told you. So basically, if you calculate the ratio of energy of first orbit of these two atoms, that will be Z1 square by Z2 square. So it will be 3:16, simple as that. Uh, 0.00013 Armstrongs. For which one, Hasini? For which question you gave me this answer? Javli, your answer is also wrong. Just check your answers, all of you. Four 340 Armstrong. 4522. Basically 450 nanometer you are saying. Yes, very good. So that will be in visible range, right? 450 nanometer, it is lying in between 350 to 750. 450 nanometer you are getting as answer for second part of question number 1. That is correct. Very good, beta. So for second one you can say that will be invisible range. First one you have to figure out. Two, 3, 3, 4, Y, 7, 1. What is this? Shit, very good. 102 nanometer for 3 to 1. That is correct. So it will be, if you are getting 102 nanometer for first one, like 3 to 1, that 101 nanometer, its wavelength, it is less than 350 nanometer, which means its energy, it is greater than this one. Correct, which means it will belong to UV range. That is correct. Yes, very good, Vieri. This 2334 Y71, what is that, Javali? Okay, no problem. Yes, Vamshi, you have not given me a single correct answer so far. Second one is second one 1:2. Likita, for which question you are giving me this answer? Time periods. That is wrong, I suppose. I'm getting 1:8. You are getting 16:1, and Vihari, you are getting 1:2. Check your calculations once. Time period is directly proportional to r to the power 3/2. Are you getting? Yes, Shrishit. Is it coming out to be 1:8, right? See, time period is directly proportional to r to the power 3/2.
Yes,
Check.
sir.
Check.
T square is directly proportional to R cube.
Yes, t square is directly proportional to r cube. Very good, beta. All of you try to find out whether it is coming out to be true or not. T square is directly proportional to, yes, very good, Shrija. Whether t square is directly proportional to r cube or not. Try to find out that first, so that you'll be able to find out the relation. Very good, all of you. Very good, Hasini. Now, anyone having any kind of doubt in any of these problems, so that I could discuss that and I can move on. If you have
the problem,
any, yes, which one?
Third.
Third one. See, third one, ratio of ionization enthalpies you have to calculate, beta. Ionization enthalpy is what? Let's say this is n is equals to infinity, this is n is equals to 1. This electron is there. If you take this electron to this n is equals to infinity, which means that electron, it has been ionized. There will be no influence of nucleus on that electron will be there. So delta E, I can write it as minus of E1. Yes or no? That is ionization enthalpy.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So ionization enthalpy of what was there? Lithium plus 2 by ionization enthalpy of beryllium plus 3. That will be what? This minus of E1 by minus of E1 of, here you can write lithium plus 2, here you can write beryllium plus 3. This will come out to be IE of lithium plus 2 by beryllium plus 3. Now this energy, that I can write as what? C z square by n square. N is same, so this value I can write as z1 square by z2 square. That is 3 square by 4 square. That will be 9 by 16. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Understood, all of you, I guess. Let's take a few more problems.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Question number 3, I'll write here. Ratio of energies. Now pay attention and read question carefully, okay? Ratio of energies required to knock out electron from fifth shell and first shell of hydrogen atom. This is first question. Okay. Question number 4. Calculate
Sir, 1:25.
1:25.
25.
25 or 45.
25.
Very good. Calculate, second question, calculate number of different different wavelength photons emitted when. The easier part first. When electron de-excite from n is equals to 3 to n is equals to 1. Second moderate part, n is equals to 5 to n is equals to 1. Third one, n is equals to, let's say I take 8, 7 to n is equals to 1. Fourth one, n is equals to, let's say 12 to n is equals to 8. Okay, there are basically first question already Vamshi has given answer. You try to figure out whether that is coming out to be correct, all of you. 1:25. Check whether that is correct or not, all of you. Question number 2 contain 4 parts. Yes, very good, Viari. So question number 2.
Fourth question, first answer is 2, sir.
2. Okay. 20 second, 40 second, 1 minute and 1 minute. So basically you have 3 minutes total. Already question number 1 you have given me answer. Find the answer for next 3 problems as well.
Fourth question, second answer is 4, sir.
Fourth question, second question, or which part?
Q4, second.
Second one, yes. How many?
4.
4 you are getting. I am getting 10. Yes. Then which one, Viari? Which question you want me to explain?
Sir, when
Third.
it goes
Question
from
number
higher
4, yes.
excited state to ground state, we do n-1, no, sir.
No, beta. See, I'll give you an idea about question number 4. All of you, just stop doing whatever you are doing. All of you, listen to me and look at your screen. Okay, stop doing everything. Now, I think all of you are familiar with the permutation and combination, or at least progressions. If you are not familiar with that also, you just pay attention. Okay, first I'll tell you how to understand such kind of problem. First let's understand this problem. Okay, so what it is saying, that calculate number of different wavelength photon emitted when electron de-excite from this orbit to this orbit. Let's say n is equals to 3 to 1. I'll take that one. Okay, let's say right now energy levels are not equal, I know, but I'll be making randomly these energy levels. Okay, n is equals to 1, n is equals to 2, n is equals to 3. Even though their values, they will be coming like this. Okay, so don't worry about that. Now I'm just taking them so that I can explain the de-excitation. So when electron de-excite from n is equals to 3, it can have number of different paths. Either it can directly move from n is equals to 3 to n is equals to 1. One photon it will be emitted. Correct only. Next one, it can move from n is equals to 3 to n is equals to 2. Like you want to move from nth floor to ground floor, or nth floor to n minus 5 floor, whatever the floor is there. Okay, so what you can do, either you can directly jump from the roof, or you can come through different floors. So either this electron, it de-excite directly from n is equals to 3 to 1, or it de-excite from n is equals to 3 to first n is equals to 2 here, then it de-excite from n is equals to 2 to n is equals to 1. So in this first de-excitation, let's say this de-excitation I have taken, for this de-excitation, one photon it will be emitted, lambda 1, let's say. For this de-excitation, lambda 2, again for this de-excitation, lambda 3, from n is equals to 2 to 1. Is that correct or not? It will be releasing some energy. Just think about it carefully, whether it is correct or not. So when that electron, it moves through different paths, it is going to release 3 different type of photons in this case. Correct?
Sir,
Yes.
then answer will be 3, no, sir?
Yes, of course answer will be 3. I didn't say that Vamshi, whatever the answer Vamshi has given, that is correct. I just said very good for attempting and giving me answer so quickly. Answer is not correct, beta, don't worry. Okay. So here the correct answer which we are getting, that is 3. Here I'll add one more question in between. N is equals to 4 to n is equals to 1. You try to find out this one also. Now if I add this one,
Sir, formula for the
yes, I'll give you formula, beta. That's why I said these are easy, remaining are bit tough. We will be generalizing this expression, don't worry. First you try to find out for n is equals to
N is equal to 4, 7.
for 7, it will be coming out.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Why I am getting it as how much? Around 10. Let's check what will be
sir
the answer.
9, sir 9.
Let's check. No, I'll be just writing these direct lines now. 6 to 4 1 6 4 to 1. Okay, very good, beta. So yes, that is correct. I'll just tell you for if guys, now again thinking part comes, so stop doing whatever you are doing. Now just think that if this difference, if this is small, if this difference is not that large, like there is not 20-30 orbitals, orbits are there in between the transitions, like 4-5 transitions if they are there, I could write these transition lines. 7 to 1, you are getting it as 20, how much? No, beta, Shishit, will come to that. Just stop doing the problem. Just look at
Okay,
here.
sir.
Okay, so here first line I write n is equals to 4 to 1. Second photon from 4 to 2. Third photon from 4 to 3. Isn't that right? Now next,
Sir.
3 to 1, 3 to 2. Next one, 2 to 1. Apart from these 6 photons, tell me if any other photon, if it is possible.
Sir, for second line, one more also.
Which one?
For second one. For second line.
This one?
Yes, sir.
How 2 will be there? You are saying it can be represented as this.
No, sir. From n is equal to 2, n is equal to 4 to n is equal to 2, one wavelength, and from n is equal to 2 to from n is equal to n is equal to 1, one more wavelength.
This and this you are saying. I've already calculated. Yes, very good, Likita. I've already taken that or not? This and this you are saying, no? These lines I have already included. So tell me if it is.
We have two lines on n2.
N is equals to 2. Yes.
We have two, but we must get still 2, no sir, to reach n is equal to 1.
Which one? Sorry.
From n is equal to on n is equal to 2, we have two lines.
We are reaching from n is equals to 4 and n is equals to 3. From 4 to 2
And
or 3 to
again, from n is equal to 2 to from n is equal to 1, we must reach, no sir.
1. Yes, I have taken that. See,
One more
just
also
think.
have.
Yes, Vamshi, very good. See, I'll tell you one thing. No matter whether you are moving from 4 to 2, 2 to 1. No matter whether you are moving from 4 to 3, 3 to 2 and 2 to 1. This 2 to 1 you have already included, no? That will give you only one type of photon. 2 photons you are getting, but wavelength of both those photons will be same or not? That will depend upon energy.
Yes sir.
Correct?
Okay sir.
Okay. So now here, if these are two easy problems, next one is also a moderate problem. Now for these, n is equals to 7 to 1. Either I do make these kind of lines, it will be very difficult thing to do. Like if I want to calculate manually in this manner.
7 to 1.
Sorry.
7 to 1. Answer is
Answer will be 18.
sir, 21, sir.
21. Very good, Suraj. So either I do form such kind of lines and then I will be drawing all these lines in this manner. Then this. Sorry, my mistake. This I have taken. Okay. Now everything I fall at. Yes, we use that formula only. Either I make lines in this manner. Yes, Harsha. 21 is correct. Yes. So directly, if I use that formula, I'll give you this formula. That number of lines I can write, or number of photons I could write, number of photons. Directly I'll write n minus 1 by 2. That is a series basically. When arithmetic progression and sum of series or sequence and series chapter, it will be done in mathematics, then you will understand this particular formula. This formula you will be able to derive by yourself. Okay. Now here, this formula you can use only when you are moving from n to 1. This formula you will be using when you are moving from any orbital n to 1. Now if there is this difference, directly look at this question number 4th one. See, you can give me answer for third one with the help of that formula. n minus 1 by 2 directly you can write. That you can do. That will be easy. But when you are using this formula for this one, it won't be giving you correct value. So for that, what you will write, delta n into delta n minus 1 divided by 2, where delta n is nothing but n2 minus n1, the difference between these orbitals.
Fourth answer is 10.
Fourth one answer will be coming out to be 10. Okay. Yes, Harsha. Is that clear? Any confusion? Any doubt? Sorry, my mistake.
No, sir.
Here that in this formula n plus 1 will be there. My mistake. Okay, all of you, don't get confused in this kind of yes, Likita. It's coming out to be 6 for yes, very good. Now all of you make one star mark on this question and this concept, this formula also. Okay, and try to remember this one next time onwards.
Sir, fourth question, last one we are getting as 10 also.
10 you are getting or 6 you are getting? 4
10 sir.
yes, 10
10 sir.
10 we will get. Yes. Likita, check once. Suraj, put the values in the formula. Delta n you are getting as 4, no? It's same as that of moving from 4 to 1.
Sir, 6 only we are getting, sir.
Once let me check.
4 into 3 by 2.
4 into 3 by 2, yes, correct only.
6.
Yes, 6 only. 4 to 1 we are moving, no? Basically you have to calculate for 4 to 1. Delta n minus 1 will be here. My mistake, I just did wrong. Okay, just correct this one and note it down. I'll suggest you to note it down and put one star mark on this particular problem. I suppose there won't be any confusion, any doubt in solving such type of problem now onwards. Correct? Anyone having any kind of doubt, now raise your hand. Yes, Suraj. What kind of doubt you are having, you ask? In which part you are having doubt, first of all? You can unmute yourself and you can speak.
Hello.
Yes, Suraj. Question, sir, 3 question I have not understood. Question number 3, this one. See, question number 3, anyone else having doubt? See, question number 3 is nothing. It is the ratio of energy required to knock out electron from fifth shell and first shell of hydrogen atom. So here what you can do is, let's say I'll just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and n is equals to infinity. Even though these levels will not be like this, n is equals to 1, n is equals to 5, and here energy is 0. Here it will be minus 13.6 electron volt, and here it will be coming out to be minus 13.6 by 25. So basically this energy difference that we can write 13.6 by 25 electron volt of energy will be required in order to knock out electron from fifth orbit, and that from first orbit it will be 13.6 electron volt. So ratio will be coming out to be 1:25. That's it.
Sir, I have doubt. Can I post in group after the class?
Sorry.
I have one photo pic doubt. Can I post in group
Yes,
after the class?
yes, you can post it. Anytime you can post it. You don't even have to ask for that. Yes, Vamshi. Yes, say. you all of you understood this concept, right? So let's move on towards spectrums. I think spectrum we won't be able to complete it, but I will give you an idea what is spectrum, okay, because we'll be using this word for many time. I'll clean this one and then I'll start with. See, spectrum, it can be defined as pictorial representation of anything. It is not necessary that spectrum will always be of some radiation or some particular values. It could be pictorial representation of anything, okay. In this case, when we will be talking about line spectrum of hydrogen, we will say spectrum is pictorial representation of arrangement of radiation in increasing or decreasing order of wavelength or energies, okay. Now this spectrum, it can be of two types. It can be defined on the basis of energy absorbed or energy emitted. Spectrum, it can be defined on the basis of energy absorbed or energy emitted. We will be talking about emission spectrum only, means whenever energy will be released, we can observe the photon released with the help of zinc sulfide screen, okay. So now here I'll try to categorize spectrum. First of all, spectrum, it is nothing, you don't get confused with the word. It is basically a series. Basically, when number of different wavelength or number of different species or number of different anything are arranged in a particular manner, they are going to form a series. That series, it can be defined as spectrum also, okay. So here this spectrum for radiations will define, or we will categorize in two broadly classified categories. Spectrum, it can be categorized into two categories. First of all, based on nature, and here based on origin. Now based on nature, it can be further categorized into two different categories: continuous, and second one, discrete. Or discontinuous, okay. Discrete or different or discontinuous, you can say. Now based on origin, we can define it as absorption or emission spectrum, okay. So here now this discrete spectrum, it can be further categorized number of different line produced, that is beta n minus 1 by 2, okay. Where delta n you can take, delta n will be basically difference minus 1, okay. Now next, discrete emission, it can be further categorized into two different type of spectrums. First one, band spectrum. Second one, line spectrum. first one is band spectrum and line spectrum. Now we have line spectrum here. That is our matter of concern. First, let's understand what does these mean. First, I'll give you a vague idea and general idea about the spectrum, and then I'll talk about them individually in detail. Okay, now basically spectrum we are categorizing on the basis of nature, on the basis of origin. Here on the basis of origin, we define them as absorption spectrum or emission spectrum. For example, I told you about black bodies. They will be absorbing different different wavelengths of light. Right, now there is a surface, let's say it absorbs lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, different type of photons. So if I arrange these wavelengths in increasing order or decreasing order, they will give me a spectrum. That spectrum, it will be called as absorption spectrum. That spectrum again, it can be either continuous or it can be discrete, even if it is absorption spectrum or emission spectrum. This absorption spectrum again, it can be continuous or discrete. Similarly, emission spectrum, it can be continuous or discrete. Now for emission spectrum, now let's say this surface itself, again white will not absorb the radiation. No sir, not perfectly white surface, you can say. Now similarly, if a particular object, not just object, anything, if it is emitting some photons, let's say n number of different photons it has emitted, so if we arrange those wavelengths or those photons in increasing order of their energy or increasing order of wavelength or in decreasing order, again an spectrum or a series will form. That series, it will be called as emission spectrum. Okay, so we will be discussing emission line spectrum of emission or line spectrum or emission spectrum of hydrogen atom. Okay, that we are going to discuss. Now this is on the basis of origin. Now here, based on the nature, continuous and discrete. What is continuous spectrum and what is discrete? Continuous spectrum is the one in which we cannot differentiate between two different emissions. Like we cannot define where a particular emission has been ended and where another emission has been started. For example, rainbow. That is an example of continuous spectrum. In rainbow, can you figure out where violet light ends and where blue light will start? Or where orange light it will be starting and where it will be ending? You cannot do that, because they are all the different waves, they are so diffused with each other, because there will be infinite emissions. Like the difference, for example, here we are taking 350 nanometer to 750 nanometer violet light and this red light. Now when you will be moving from violet light to red light in form of rainbow, here let's say it start from here and it end at this particular point. Now here, for this particular part, if you move from here to here to here like this, the wave, it will be changing as 350, next 350.2 nanometer, 351 nanometer, like that. So you cannot differentiate it in between them. Infinite wavelengths will be there, or infinite type of photons will be there. So that's why that kind of emission or that kind of spectrum, it will be called as continuous spectrum. Next is discrete, where we can differentiate the boundary of different emissions. Discrete is the one where we can define the boundary of different emissions. Now this discrete, it can be of two types, band spectrum and line spectrum. Now band spectrum is, I'll give you an idea right now, that I'll give you an example, not an idea. This example, there will be a complete chapter on this particular example, that is wave optics. Okay, at the end of first year you will go through this wave optics chapter in physics. Okay, I'll just take one example from that wave optics, that is diffraction of light. Now in Young's slit experiment or double slit experiment, let's say here there is this opaque object, or let's say this small slit is there, and there is this light source is there. Now this light source, when it will pass through this very small slit, what will happen? Here I have taken one screen. This screen, if I observe, I'll see different maxima and minima. Means at the center of this screen I'll see a bright spot. Then for very small area I'll see a dark spot. I'll see this dark spot, after which again I'll see a bright spot, and then again followed by a dark spot, in this manner. In this manner. Then again I'll see a light, a bright spot, in this manner. Now you see, for different intensity light I'm just getting different regions of these bright spots and dark spots. Here I can easily differentiate between the part where one spectrum it is ending and another spectrum it is starting again, when next one will be starting or this one will be ending. Like that we can easily define. Is that correct? Any confusion, any doubt in this particular part? Or when I'll be discussing the conductivity or different type of substances, let's say this is valence band, this is conduction band. These are two different bands. I can clearly see the difference between these two bands. Like here between two bright spots I can clearly see the difference. Is that correct? This kind of spectrum, it is called as band spectrum. Next one is line spectrum. As the name indicates, let's say if I obtain a line spectrum on this particular screen, this screen it would appear like one line, another line, this line, this line. Let's say this light it contains lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, lambda 4, lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, lambda 4, different wavelengths. It is not necessary, Suraj, that this difference it will always be same. This intensity part we will discuss, the magnitude part it will be discussed in wave optics. We are not here to discuss wave optics, right? I'm just taking it as an example. The detail of this experiment it will be discussed there. Okay, at the end of the first year it will be a completely different chapter and it will be discussed in physics. Okay beta, so this is a vague idea about these spectrums, where line spectrum of hydrogen we are going to discuss. Means this kind of pattern we are going to obtain, different lines or different photons. Let's say this light it is carrying different photons. If I place one prism here, they will be diffracted by a different magnitude, and we can clearly see that they will give on the screen, they will give different wavelength lights, and we can easily differentiate the boundary between these lines. Is that correct or not? So this kind of spectrum that is discontinuous, right? While rainbow that was continuous spectrum. So this kind of discontinuous spectrum we can easily differentiate, and if we can differentiate this one, then we can easily define different type of photons coming from that hydrogen atom, and we can define orbits. Why it is important, that we will understand when we will discuss this line spectrum in detail. Okay, now anyone having any kind of doubt in these spectrums? The idea of this spectrum, basically not complete spectrum, in this general idea of spectrum, is it clear to everyone? Those who understood, just raise your hand. So I'll be ending this class for today, and you can do practice for your exam. Okay, up to here this will be there in the exam. Once do number of different line product from 7 to 2. Okay, we'll check our formula. Okay, let everyone go, then we'll check this one. Okay, everyone, you haven't raised your hand, anyone? Okay, Likita, you understood? Very good. Yes, Vamshi. Very good. Yes, I'll do that. So let's verify that formula here. If I do from 4 to 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? 6 lines we are getting from n is equals to 4 to 1. 6 lines we are getting. So if I use n minus 1 by 2, I'll be getting 4 into 3 by 2, that is 6. Correct only. So this formula, that is correct. Okay, Vamshi. Now I want to take something where it is not ending at n is equals to 1. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
Let's take for n is equals to 5 to 2. Is that correct or not? Answer should be coming out to be same.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So that will come out to be n minus 1. So here delta n, if I take, that will be coming out to be 4 delta n minus 1 by 2. Is that correct or not? Delta n will be what?
Yes, sir.
Difference between these two. Understood?
Yes, sir.
That's correct. Any confusion, any doubt? Basically you have to check the difference between these two. How many orbits are there? Like 12 to 8 if I do. 12, 11, 10, 9.
From 5 to 2.
9 and 8. So the difference in that case, it will be coming out to be 5. So
Sir?
10 will be the answer. Yes.
From 5 to 2, delta n equals to 3, no, sir.
Delta n will be 5,
3.
4, 3, 2. Delta n will be 3.
Yes, sir. If we
Okay.
apply those formulas,
Delta
we are
n
getting
plus
answer
1.
as
No. The number of orbits we have to check, no?
yes, sir.
Okay. So delta n plus 1, let's say, right? My mistake.
Yes, sir. From that time I was seeing the delta.
Now it is correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That will be the formula, because I always ask everyone not to memorize formulas. You can make formulas by yourself. Okay, like this. Clear?
Sir, the final formula is delta n into delta n plus 1 by 2, no, sir?
This value you will calculate first. Okay, this value you calculate, delta n plus 1. Delta n plus 1 will be what? The difference here, correct, plus 1.
Yes, sir.
So 12 to 8 if you are taking, that will be, the difference will be coming out to be what? 4 plus 1, right? So the answer will be coming out to be 4 into 3 by 2. Sorry, my mistake, again, my mistake. that will be coming out to be 5 into 4 by 2.
4 by 2.
That will be 10. Yes, good. Correct. Clear?
But before you have saying it as 6, sir, from 12 to 8.
6 we said.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then.
You have used the delta n minus 1 in the delta n by 2.
Okay. Here, this value, let's say I write it as I'll write it next class. You remind me to correct this formula. I'll just write
Yes,
here a minus 1 by 2, where a I can write as delta n plus 1. Okay, just take a screenshot and post it on the group also. Okay, or in next class you remind me, I'll just correct it. Okay.
I have taken screenshot, sir. Can I post in group?
No, next class I'd like to discuss it with everyone after the exam.
Okay, sir.
Okay, or tomorrow morning if doubt session will be there, I'll discuss it there. You
Yes.
reminded me. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay then. Bye bye everyone.